Boom, just like that. We're live again, guys. I'm Tom Owens, guys. I'm the host of the Tom Owens Show. Welcome, everybody. I thank everybody for tuning in. Man, this week we got a lot of stuff going on, but this weekend right here in Visalia, California, we got one of my favorite MMA productions are going down. We got the 559 fights with promoter Jeremy Luchal, and it's going to be right here in the Visalia Convention Center, guys. Once again, it's a great spot to have MMA fights. It's been going down. It's been looking real good right there. And today I got a special guest. I got guest Julia Alonzo. Did I say that correctly, sis?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Guys, I got Julia Alonzo. This main event for this fight, she's fighting in the main event. She's going to be fighting against another one of my people that I know from the past, Joy Ann Pendel. They're fighting for the main event. You guys are fighting for a title, correct?
Yeah, the Camel State title.
The Camo State title. Now, I've seen you a couple pictures with you. You got that belt already. So explain to me, what's the difference between the Camo State title and the 559 title? Is it the same thing?
No, honestly, no, it's not the same thing. I can't tell you the difference other than I think 559 Fights just has their own, little championship belt, and then the state or Camo organization has their own. But as far as the difference, I guess that's it.
Oh, man. So the main event, is this your first time fighting in a main event?
Yeah. My last fight was a co-main event.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really something else right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So, Julia, you train out of Fresno, California. Is that where you were born and raised or what?
I was born in Madera, but I was literally raised in Fresno. I don't even think I lived in Madera that long. So yeah, I usually say I'm from Fresno.
Fresno, California, right down the road.
Yes, sir.
I did a lot of my training in Fresno back in the day when I was a youngster. I used to train over there at Pacific Martial Arts.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Still around. The PMA was one of the spots way back in the day when there wasn't a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu around, especially right here in town. There was hardly any jiu-jitsu. But PMA, Pacific Martial Arts, they had one of the most legit jiu-jitsu schools back in the day. So a lot of props to those guys.
Oh yeah, they're pretty legit.
Now talk about your school and your camp and your coaches a little bit. Who do you train with? Who's your main school that you train with?
So I train with the Dethrone MMA. There's 2 locations. So I say I fight under both of them. I do mostly train at the Bullard and Marks location, but the other guys are my boys. So like Nick Bustamante is my main coach. Nick the Brick, I don't know if you know Nick the Brick. He's pretty awesome. And then I got Brian Gonzalez is one of my black belts. I got Mike Moreno. Jason Kraft is an amazing wrestling coach. Who else is there? Tamara, she's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. And all the other guys from the other gym and both gyms. So yeah, both Dethrones. I try to represent both of them. But I do mostly train at the Bullard and Marks location. It's just a little bit closer to my house.
Dude, Bullard and Marks, man, that's where we used to train for PMA. I wonder if that's the same spot right there.
I don't know. I know it used to be AKA American Kickboxing Academy. So maybe, I don't know.
I think it might be. Hey, yeah. Mike Moreno, man, much props out to Mike Moreno. Yeah. Mike Moreno's a guy that I used to fight on the same cards with Mike way back in the day in the WEC.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Mike Moreno, man. Hey, all those names that you just named, those are legit coaches right there. Those are good teammates to have. That's awesome. You're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a great spot. So, man, how's this camp been going for you?
It's going pretty good. I feel like, every fight is different. I'm not fighting the same person. So it's like I got to implement something different because everybody offers something different. I try to make it as challenging as I can, physically and mentally, because I'm just trying to level up, man. And I have to do something different in order to do that. So it's been cool. Like I've been implementing a lot of different things. It's been great.
Man, yeah, you want to level up. You're in the right spot to do it. 559 Fights is a great show, and Jeremy Luchal. Jeremy Luchal is a great promoter too. He's a great guy to be working under. And yeah, just to keep doing your thing, and I believe you will level up. Yeah. Now, you and your opponent, this is the first time today that for my show, I'm getting 2 people that are fighting each other both on the same night. I've interviewed Joy before. She's a pretty cool chick, nice and respectful. You're very respectful. There's going to be a lot of respect for this fight when you guys go at it with each other. What do you think about your opponent? Have you watched her fight before?
Just seen a few like highlights and stuff. I know she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so I definitely respect that. Like jiu-jitsu is amazing, so I'm sure she's amazing in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, honestly, I feel like I really respect her, and I don't have I just have good things to say about her, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
You know what, man? I'll tell you what. There's nothing weird about it. People with men, when I interview men and I ask them a question like that, the ego gets involved, and especially with men, we got egos, and we don't really want to say something nice about the guy that we're fighting or whatever. It doesn't really matter when you guys get in there. You guys are you're gonna do your thing. You're gonna battle,
Exactly.
and then afterwards, win or lose, you know what I mean? The best thing you can do is show respect to your opponent, and I believe that's going to happen. But man, the main event, I'm going to be right there. I'm going to be right there, cage side, watching. I've never met you. We might have crossed paths in person before, but I don't think we've really met.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to meeting you. I'll wait till your fight's over for sure. You know what I mean? And come up, and I want to shake your hand and meet you, and hopefully we'll get some interviews for the podcast. Regardless of the results, it doesn't matter. We're going to try to get you to the next level. My whole deal with this podcast and interviewing local fighters is, to give you guys some exposure, of course. But, for me, this show's new. And what I'm hoping, is I'm getting to interview you guys early in your career. And one day you're going to make it to the big scene, and I'll be one of the first guys to have interviewed you.
I know, the first. I think that's pretty dope, man, what you're doing for all the fighters and stuff. It really helps because it's not easy just for us to do this and make it. It's a lot of physical work, mental work, and like social media work. It's crazy. So I think you're helping us out.
It's crazy nowadays. When I was fighting back in the day out here at these casinos, the internet was just coming about. And what you're going through right now, it's like, it depends on how a person takes it, but it's a whole nother stress level that people didn't have back in the day. But you're right. Yeah. I mean, to get to the next level in today's day and age, social media is a big part of it. That's the bottom line. It's a big part of it. Yeah, it is. It's something that we didn't have, and some people won't use it, but it really, you're not fighting for nothing. You're at a level right now where you can get to the next level. And you're at an important an important stage right now in your career to get to that next level, to get to the professional level. Oh, yeah. And man, this is, you're doing a good thing to do it. So 559 Fights, is that tell us a little bit about the shows that you started. Was 559 Fights the first organization, or did you start somewhere else?
No, honestly, 559 Fights has been the only one. I've never fought like an MMA fight anywhere else. I've done like jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I did a KF or something Muay Thai thing one time. But honestly, 559 Fights has been like the most legit thing I've ever done as far as MMA goes. And seriously, like they're great, man. They like really organize and well put together and put on good shows for everybody and help all us, fighters get us out there. Even grapplers, like, they have grappling matches. That's pretty badass. Like, if you are into grappling, it's pretty legit to watch.
Yes,
so
it
yeah,
is.
I've been the only one.
Oh, it's cool. I love how the promoters too are bringing in these high level grappling matches to mix it in. The grappling gives our audience and our fan base, it gives them a little more knowledge of what's going on the mat. Many people, they watch MMA and they don't, when the fight hits the ground, unless you train, you really have no idea what's going on the ground. It might even seem boring to some people, but not me. When it hits the ground, I'm looking at all these things that you guys are doing.
Oh, you're watching, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's so much going on the ground that people just don't understand. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Now you're training, Julia. You're a young lady, but I know you start training martial arts at an earlier age. How old were you when you first stepped into a dojo or a mat, and what style was it that you started with?
Man, honestly, it's weird because I feel like I could say that I started older. Like, I was 25 when I first stepped into a gym. I actually started boxing. So to me, that's older. I feel like some of these cats, man, they start when they're like 12 or something, or 15 or even 18. And I was, 25. thinking I was gonna step in the gym and try to be an MMA fighter, and I proved myself right. So yeah, I started boxing. I did boxing for a couple months, and it was pretty awesome. And I'm like, oh man, I got feet, so what can I do with my feet? But I ended up doing jujitsu like maybe a year after I'd done boxing. And then I implemented Muay Thai, and yeah, the gym was called Thrive MMA, I believe. I don't even know if it's around anymore, but that was
I
about
remember
2015. I started boxing.
Man, what does your family think about this?
Um, well, what do they think about it?
Honestly, a
I
lot of
think at
people have
first
no.
they,
Let me
honestly,
hear.
I think my family would have definitely chosen a different path for me. I think they've always told me I've been like really smart and I could go very far and with my education and everything, and or something. And I'm like, man, that's not for me. So I think they're kind of taken away by it for a little bit, but they've always been pretty supportive in my choices. They will always say, "You're so smart. Go do this. Go do that." But at the same time, they're pretty supportive. I think sometimes they get scared. I'm sure they get super nervous when they're right there at the cage and everything. But I don't know. They're pretty cool about it for the
Are
most
they gonna
part.
be? Are they gonna be there for your fight or what? Right there, cage side, ring side.
I don't know. I think they'll get general admission, but well, actually, it depends on who. I think some of them will be cage side and some of them will be in the stands. Um, I think some of them can't handle like being really close to the cage, and some are cool with just being a little further away so they can't hear everything.
Oh man,
So
hey, it's a trip if you're the mom or the dad or even brothers and sisters, even when you're a teammate or a friend, when you see your partner or your son or your daughter step into the cage in front of all these people, these thousands of people, and there's, you know what they're saying about you being smart, you have to be smart to do this sport. This sport
oh
is not
yeah,
just for anybody. Anybody that succeeds in this sport, I mean, anybody can do it. A guy with no smarts or no brains can do it, but the ones that make it to the next level that I've seen, all the best ones, they got something up there that most people don't have. So
I agree.
yep, you're doing something that most people can't do. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
Now,
basically, yeah.
oh man, dude, fighting is such a trip, man. And when you guys
It
get in
really
there,
is. It
oh, it's a
really
trip.
is.
You're doing something that most people will never ever experience in their life, and it's a small,
I
small
know.
man. It's a small percentage of people that do what you're doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
you and your opponent both. I wish you guys the best, man. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I love seeing two women in the main event like that. Jeremy Luchow, what you're doing out there with, you're doing a great job, dude. And man, this is going to be so cool with the main event. This is one of the last of this actually is the last event of the year here in
Yep.
Visalia for 559 fights.
Going out with
It's
a
going to be
bang. Yep.
going to be a great show. I can't wait. What about like I want to help you out as much as possible. Do you have sponsors already and people that are backing you up on this?
Yeah, I have a few of my sponsors that have been since my first fight, I guess. I got the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. I got the law offices of Goldberg and Ibarra, Vallejo Prince. I got another one I'm forgetting. Oh, Core Energy Group. They've been the best, helpful. And of course, my coaches, they sponsor me by coaching me and stuff, I guess, and Dethrone. I'm definitely looking for more sponsors. That'd be great, especially going, like depending on my career next, going professional or not. I definitely need those sponsors because that's basically where we make some good money, and that helps us freaking eat. I'm trying to eat.
Yep, you're trying to eat, and you know what, man? People, the sponsors that are out there, there's a lot of people that do want to sponsor fighters and people that want to sponsor in this, the sport that we're going. Hey, the sponsors are super important, man. You guys can reach out to myself. It's easy to get a hold of me. You can reach out to Julia. This isn't the night. This isn't the week to be reaching out to her, but you can reach out to
No.
her coaches. You can reach out to myself. There's, the team. If you guys do want to sponsor, you can help out. You can, you know what I mean. You can get a hold of me or her. I'd
Yeah,
rather you
please
guys
do. Please do.
don't try to get a hold of her this week. It's fight week. You got the rest of the week. What do you do for this last week? I know you've already trained hard. You've went through a tough, hard camp. I know that for sure. What I always ask this of the fighters. It's the last week. It's Monday night. You're fighting Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
Now, what is a
Yeah. So
person? Yeah, in your position, what do you do for these next 5 days?
honestly, I still train. I feel like I just kind of go through the motions of everything that I want to do. But I mostly just try to make sure that I get my mind and my body right, because I feel like that's the most important thing. Like rest and recovery. You know, really, it's really the mental. This is really a mental game, and it takes a lot more effort almost than physically. It's a different exertion, but it's still something I have to work on. And so I think through the rest of the week, I'll definitely be focusing mentally. Um, yeah, and then physically, I'll just be moving around. I just like to get some movement, make sure I got everything right. Um, yeah, just stay active a little bit, not just not overly active, but I just enjoy this fight week is awesome. You know, it's crazy. It's
Oh
like, oh my
man,
God, really? I'm gonna fight in a couple days. I'm gonna go in a cage with some other badass and like freaking brawl, you know? Like so yeah, I'm getting
that's
ready for
so
that. That
cool.
shit's awesome.
You're not only going into the cage, but you're going in there with another cool person with high skill. You
Yeah.
know, everybody, people have their different opinions or whatever, but both to me, both people, when you're stepping into that cage, whatever, regardless of the results, both people are winners to me because you're going in there and you're doing battle in front of all these people. You're doing something that a small percentage of people will ever even think about doing in their
Yeah.
life, but you're doing it. You're stepping in there. You're the main event. Oh man, it's going to be cool. It's going
Yeah,
to be
honestly,
great.
it takes some balls to get in that cage, man, and I feel like I got him. I'm sure my opponent does, or she wouldn't be doing it. And yeah, we can just put it all in there, man. That's what we're there to do.
That's great, man. It's going to be a great card and everything. Now you're from Fresno. The fight's right here in Visalia. Are you guys weighing in the day of or the day before the fight?
The day of.
The day
Yeah,
of. So
weighing
you're
day of.
weighing in the day of, and you're doing battle that same day. You guys are fighting at
Yep.
160. Is that correct?
Yeah, 160.
At 160. How are you at weight? How's your weight cut going? Do you have a weight cut, or
I'm
are you
good.
already pretty?
No, I mean honestly, like, so I've done a weight loss like forever. So weight cut is a little different to me. So honestly, it doesn't feel like much for a weight cut. Um, yeah, it's just just a few pounds. I mean, you've done weight cut before, so it could be grueling or it could be pretty easy. And I don't know. I think I take the easier road, so I feel pretty good about my weight.
Yeah, the weight cut. I mean, back when I used to fight back in the day, we would weigh in the day before. When I used to fight back in the day, it was the sport. It was kind of still new, and this local scene, the fights that we would fight at would be at the even for them to happen, it would have to be at these local casinos, the Indian casinos, in fact. And man, much
Mm-hmm.
props out to those guys. Actually, here coming up pretty soon, I'm going to have one of the old school guys. I'm actually, guys, one of people think I'm weird for doing it, but my next show coming up is I'm going to be interviewing one of the guys that I actually fought. My second
Oh,
fight,
sick.
I fought him, and you know, thank the Lord I was able to win the first fight. And then I actually fought him again later on down the road, and he beat me. It was one of the Indian kids from the Indian casino, and I got so much respect for those guys, man. And yeah, that's coming up soon. Those
That's gonna
Indian
be a cool
casino
interview.
fights were really, they were quite a trip, though. They are what built up to what you're doing now. And I'm so happy to see what the sport has happened. Man, Jeremy Luchow was back. He was around in the mix back in the way back in the day when this was going down. And Jeremy, not only has he been in the mix and he's been around the scene, but he actually went through it himself and he fought himself. So, unlike most promoters, there's very few promoters that can say that they stepped into the cage like Jeremy did. And,
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for Jeremy because he stepped in that cage and he knows what it's like to do the whole training camp and everything. Now he's keeping the sport going and he's getting you guys going to that next level. Oh, man, it's cool, man. What a trip this life is, right?
It really is. It's unpredictable and it's fun and it's the shit.
So, Julia, I know right now your mind and your life is 110% on this fight that's coming up. When you're not training martial arts, though, what do you do on the side? Like, what is your job occupation, or what do you do? What are your hobbies on the side besides training and fighting?
Well, I'm a personal trainer. I got a plane going over me right now. My bad.
It's all
If
right.
you can hear it.
It's
Okay.
all good.
Well, I'm actually a personal trainer, so I feel like I'm basically at the gym all the time. Um, yeah, I had lost a lot of weight, so it made me want to help people to do the same for themselves because it's a freaking huge struggle for people. So that's what I do, man. I'm a personal trainer. I'm at the gym in the mornings, and I'm at the gym at night. And during the day, I guess I'm actually a foster parent, so I have my little baby, and I take him everywhere with me, and that's basically what I do.
You're a foster parent. I am as well. You know what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't have kids of my own for some reason. The good Lord above, I don't have kids. If it might be too late for me. I might never have kids. But at one point in my life, I was able to adopt my nephew,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
you know what? Being a foster parent, I got a lot of props for you for that. It's not easy.
Thanks.
That's like an MMA fight in its own, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got two of them, and one of them's a baby, and one of them's a preteen. So it's definitely a challenge. It's like the best shit I've ever done in my life. Better than being an MMA fighter.
Uh,
It's definitely taught me a
you
lot.
know what? You're doing something great. You're doing something great right there. That's awesome. Do you have?
Thank
You're a young woman still. Do you have any kids of your own, or just a foster
No, no
child?
kids, no kids of my own. Maybe in the future. I don't know.
Maybe
We'll
in the
see.
future we never know what it's going to hold.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
what
It's
you're
uncertain. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
what you're doing though for those kids is something special. And man, how old are those kids?
One of them is 1 year old, and the other one is 12.
Man, that
Big
12
age
year
gap.
old, he's got a better idea of what's going on. He's probably
Yeah.
watching you. You're a great inspiration for those kids. Imagine
Yeah, man.
later on down the road when that youngster and these youngsters they look, with the internet and everything, it's such a trip. You can get on and just click a few buttons and you can see what's going on with a person.
Oh yeah.
But man, when you get on there and you're looking, you see, man, my mom was fighting in a cage in front of all these people. Oh, what a trip for those kids, man! Right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I do it. I really do it for them, man, because they're our future. All these kids are our future. Whether the kids that are in my house or the kids that I coach at, at the gym or any kids around me, man. I'm just trying to be a good influence to them and let them know that they can do whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't matter what it is. Just be smart about it. And if you like it, do it. Don't do something you don't want to do. That's basically it.
You're showing
So
them a great way, a good route. Hey, not every, few people are going to jump into the cage fighting route, but
yeah.
you're showing them that you can, if you put your mind to it and your body to it. In this life that we're living, guys, we can really, what I found out through life, and I've made a lot of mistakes and a lot of positive things, but if you put your mind to it, you can do it. That's really the bottom line. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want in this world,
Yeah.
whatever the route is that you take. Mixed martial arts and martial arts itself, even if you don't fight in the cage, if you have a child or it's you, even no matter what age you are, stepping into the martial arts and learning anything is great. But when you step into the martial arts, man, it can do so much for you, whether you're fighting or you're not. Martial arts training can do so much for your discipline and the way you look at life and the way that you treat people. And also, when we're living in life, it seems like, I know in my life for sure, but not just my life, but everybody, there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. And man, on those downs, a lot of people, they just let it go. You know what I mean? And
They just stay
what
down
do
there.
you
Yeah.
think? Yeah, when a person's going through downs in life, I'm sure you yourself, you've been through downs too. When you're going in a downward slope in life, what's a good thing for a youngster to do to get back going on that upward glide again?
I think sometimes finding the motivation or finding like purpose or maybe like a goal can help, but really I think it comes down to just having discipline, like, and being just perseverance, really, like doing the things that suck. Like sometimes you want to just lay in bed and just, I don't know, maybe some people want to just lay in bed and cry, but maybe that's the day that you should get up and go for a walk. Like just I think we are our thoughts. So if you tell yourself that you're just a down person, then that's what you're going to be. But if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm down today, it's okay, I'm just going to try to be better, then just be better and you'll be better. Like, it's not just that simple. It's just being better. I think there's things that we have to do to make it better. But If we stay down, it's because we're doing the same thing to keep us there. So you got to do something different. Whatever that is, try something different.
I love it. I love your attitude, sis. I love your attitude. Oh, man, it's cool, man. I love your attitude so much. Just like that.
Thanks, man.
So
Try to be real.
you got to be real. That's the bottom line with this. Now,
Yeah,
people
man.
out there that watch, you can always get a hold of me. Remember, this is the last week coming up before the fight. Sponsors are great, man. You know, I'm always looking for sponsors for my show, but I'm more, you know, I'd rather see sponsors get a hold of these fighters that are getting ready to fight. Like she said, you know, it's no joke. At the level you're at right now, Julia, you're at that level where you can get to the next level. And any help that we can
Yeah.
get from anybody out there is worth it. And there's going to be all kinds of people coming out to that fight. I got a feeling this is going to be a tremendous fight. It's going to be a tremendous night. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be something else. Now,
Yeah,
I
me
want to
too, me
thank,
too.
yeah, man. Oh, man, it's so cool. I want to just give a big props out to you, and I want to give props out to your team and everybody that you train with. Man, this is going to be so cool this night coming up. Your opponent, too, I got props for her. She was cool enough. Joy is cool enough to come on. She's going to come on. Me and her are going to talk at 8 o'clock. This is the first time on my show that I've interviewed. You know, we got the main event. I'm interviewing both fighters tonight. You know, it's cool. I got both you and I got Joy at 8 o'clock. I'll be talking with her. And man, like I said, sometimes if I was to get a guy and two guys that are fighting in this position, they'd be talking all kinds of smack about each other. And, you know, it doesn't get you anywhere. When you step into that ring, that's when the real talking is going to be done without the mouth. It's going to be with
Yeah,
the
man.
mind and the body, right?
Honestly, yeah, I'm just more about walking than talking. You know, it's just about action. You know, I don't need to say anything. I don't need to say anything. It's just all in action.
Yep,
You
the
know,
words, there's
I
nothing you
get
can
it.
say that's not going to be spoken once you step into that ring.
Right.
That's the bottom
Exactly.
line. Oh man,
Exactly.
it's going to be
It's gonna be
cool.
exciting. Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting.
Besides your sponsors and your team, is there anybody else out there that you would like to give props to?
Yeah, I actually forgot one of my coaches, JT. I don't know his last name, but JT. I think he went by JT Torch. I think he fought also in the casinos as well, back in the day. But yeah, him, and then my wife Jordan. She's great. My family for being supportive, and like seriously, all my training partners, the women and the males, they're amazing. They always push me, and yeah, my foster kids, of course, they're great. They deal with me training all the time.
Your wife, what was her name again?
Jordan
Jordan.
Alonzo, same last name.
Jordan. Same. I should have known that already,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I mean, some people don't change their last name, so but she changed her last name.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, what does she
Yeah.
think about you fighting like this? Does she train too?
Um, nah, she doesn't train. She thinks it's cool. She thinks that she has. Honestly, I have her full support, which is really nice. Yeah, she really pushes me to be my best, and I think that that's great. If anybody is like looking for a partner in their life, they should find somebody who wants them to grow individually, and I think that's super important. You got to want them to grow individually as well, but it's important when somebody wants to support you in whatever crazy dreams you may have, and she does just that, and I thank her for that.
Oh man, I think her too. You know
Yeah,
what? That's awesome. I appreciate her for doing what she's doing. That's awesome.
yeah,
Hey,
she's great.
finding a partner that'll back you up on something like this is no easy joke. That's the
Man,
bottom
for real,
line.
you
That's
are
the
not
bottom
lying.
line.
Yeah.
Oh man. Man, this is gonna be great. So you got today's Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got 4 more nights. I know you're already ready and your weight's already there where you need to be. Hey, I'm not going to come up to you until the fight's over. We might cross paths or whatever and say hi, but I want you to focus on your fight. I want your mind to be there 110% like it needs to be. Once again, Julia, I want to thank you for coming on and talking with me a little bit.
Yep.
The last week, you know, I'm still new at this podcast world. It's been more than, you know, it's been a few years since I've been doing it, but I've made mistakes a couple times in the past.
Uh-huh.
Along my path, and I've tried to interview fighters like a couple days before their fights, and they've accepted, which was a mistake on my part. You know what I mean? You guys need the fighters, whoever's competing in jiu-jitsu, wrestling, whatever it is, kickboxing, especially MMA, you need these last few nights to put your mind in the right spot and get your mind correct. So I thank you so much for giving me this little interview tonight.
Yeah,
is there anybody else out there, sis, that you want to give a props out to, or anything else you would like to say?
No, just I hope to see everybody there. And if you guys aren't going to be able to be there, then you can watch it on Instagram if you subscribe to 559 Fights. And yeah, it'll be a fun night, fun Saturday. And I honestly cannot wait to eat after. I'm going to go get some Mexican food or something because I'm hungry.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys are eating here in town in Visalia and you need any ideas of where to go eat, you can hit me up. I'll be right there, cage side. Like I said, we're gonna cross path. And when you get to Visalia, if there's any questions that you have about anything, you can always hit me up.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
For sure. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I appreciate your team. Hey, Mike Moreno is a friend of mine. That's a dude right there that I got a ton of respect for. I used to watch Mike Moreno. I'll tell you what, you got a coach right there that's not only talks the talk, but he used to walk that walk. And that guy back in the day was one of the gamest dudes I used to see fight. He was in my same weight class. And I'll be honest, you know what I mean? I'm not holding nothing back. Hey, that was a guy that I always hoped that they never called me with that dude's name. Hey, he's a beast.
Yeah,
Mike Moreno is a beast, man.
Yeah,
and he's a cool. I never realized how cool of a dude that guy is. Such a cool dude, man. You got a great coach right there. Yeah, you got a great coach, great guy backing you up. So
I agree, man. Yeah, he's a good guy.
You're in a good team. Well, sis, we're gonna keep it just like that. We're gonna keep it just like that. I thank you again so much. Hey, I'll see you there Saturday night. Everybody out there, you can hit up myself, Tom Owens. If you hit up Julia, please, instead of hitting her up, there's always going to be a last-minute sponsor or somebody that wants to back you up. You can hit myself up. I can hit her up or her team. You can hit up Mike Moreno. And, yes, it's going to be Saturday night, December 17th.
See y'all there.
Right here. Yep, right here in Visalia at the Visalia Convention Center. It's going to be good, guys. Don't miss. The tickets, I can tell you to buy your tickets. The tickets are almost sold out already. You might be able to get one. If you plan on getting one at the last minute, you better get them now because they're going to be gone. I say that a lot, but I know for a fact this show is going to be sold out here pretty quick. So everybody out there, I want to thank you. I want to give everybody love. If you guys can like and pass and share this show, you'll help me and you'll help Julia herself. So, yes, Julia, I'm going to let you go. I thank you so much. Go get your meal. I know you're not eating much this last week, but get your mind right. Do that meditation, whatever you got to do to get ready for this fight. And I will see you on Saturday night.
All right, Tom. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much, Julia. You have a good evening.
You too, man. Bye.